Uptown, uptown. Look, we are back in Harlem, New York with my revisit of Spider-Man Miles Morales. But this time, we're playing it on the PlayStation 5. When I originally reviewed this game on my channel, it was based on the PS4 Pro version of the game, which is still a great experience, so I do recommend it. But if you can't find a PS5, stick with the PS4 version. Still pretty solid. But now that I have a PS5, I wanted to see how the new hardware improves on the overall experience. So, let's get into it. So for this revisit, I won't bother to cover the story or give a plot summary. For that, I will refer you to my original review, which is still pretty recent, and I'll link that in the description below. Instead, I will mainly focus on the gameplay and the improvements that I noticed while playing the PS5 version for this game. Now for the revisit, I'm playing this game on the Performance RT mode, which is essentially a 60 FPS mode with improved lighting effects due to ray tracing. Now on PS5, you have a few options: Fidelity, Performance, and Performance RT. Since I prefer frame rate over visuals, personally, I went with the Performance RT. So right off the bat, the jump to 60 FPS is apparent, and wow does it make a difference in the feel of traversing and mostly combat. I thought the game was smooth on PS4, but man, this is truly a huge jump. I love how swinging around the city feels in the combat. Yo, that 60 FPS really makes this feel like a whole nother game. The low latency, the smooth animations, it's great. Now graphically, there are some improvements. The lighting, the reflections and details off of Miles' suit, the particle effects and the destructions during the Rhino chase scene. It looks awesome and there's no slowdown at all, which really brings home the AAA game feel. I also love the bridge scene, which is actually my favorite part of the entire game, followed by the final showdown in Harlem. All great visually and is really nice taste of what the next gen consoles can do. Since I decided to replay the entire game for this revisit, let me give you a quick update what I think about the game itself. Again, like I stated in my original review, I actually enjoyed this game more than the original Spider-Man PS4. Not to say Spider-Man PS4 was a bad game, by no means is it. It's one of the best games on the console, but this is pure Spider-Man action. No Mary Jane sections, no forced stealth sections, and no pointless challenges. You play with Miles from start to finish, and this is just pure fun. Just like the original Spider-Man game, you have collectibles all around New York City, and I'm debating if I want to trophy hunt in this game. It is tempting. Miles controls and fights better than Peter in my opinion, because Miles just has more in his arsenal. Thanks to the Venom-based moves, I love the Venom punch, the Venom jump, and just following up with the finishing blow. Super satisfying. Love it. I also really love the soundtrack and music here. The song that plays during the intro, the songs that plays after Miles get his suits, and even the Christmas vibes that you get during the dinner scene. It's all great. Now, as much as I love the music, I won't risk playing it here because of the possibility of the DMCA rules, and you don't want to risk that. So I'll just use some of the DMCA free music for this review, but man, the soundtrack is truly great. So Spider-Man Miles Morales remains one of the best experiences so far on the PS5. Insomniac Games remains one of the top teams over at PlayStation. I'm super excited for Spider-Man 2. But before we get to that, I kind of want to check out that new Guardians of the Galaxy game first, so look out for the eventual review. Again, I thank you all for watching this revisit, and I'll see you next time.